Hey guys, what's up? This is Clay Polly with the Sketch Cover Comic Cast, and welcome to the first ever episode of SC3 One Shots. This is a segment where me or James are going to talk about a character, comic, or something going on in the comic book community that we just want to share our thoughts on for a few minutes. And today we are doing this first episode ever with the Spider-Man #1 by Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley. This comic came out with a lot of, I guess you could say, criticism, as there was a lot of backlash for Nick Spencer doing the Hydra Cap series for Captain America and going into Secret Empire. So people were very skeptical to even check this book out, going into a new run and new creative team on The Amazing Spider-Man. But here are a few thoughts, likes, and dislikes on the book, and a final recommendation whether I think you guys should pick this book up. But as far as likes, guys, major spoilers, so earmuffs if you want to, but the bottom line is that this is arguably a milestone issue in Spider-Man comics and lore right now. I am extremely excited to say that Peter and MJ are officially an item. They are back together, and guys, I think it is a great step in the right direction. I think Nick Spencer did a fantastic job finally getting them back together, and I think it is really showing fans that he cares about what we care about to a certain extent, or at least what we can see from this point. And I think it's really opening doors up to fans that Peter and MJ are finally back together. So kudos to Nick Spencer for following through with that. So secondly, I want to say that, man, Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley do a great job introducing this brand new villain that we catch in the kind of near the ending of this book. I'm not sure I caught a name, so guys, down in the comments below, please tell me if you caught a name or you know who this guy's name is. Please let me know. I'm super curious, but I was very much enthralled with the idea of who this new villain is, and I enjoyed the fact that he was making Mysterio pee his pants. It was a very cool concept. Loved all the centipedes and bugs and just almost like I don't know what you call it, apocalyptic feel to this character, but it was almost in a dream state. I couldn't really tell, but it was great. Thirdly, the art looks amazing. Ryan Ottley really knocked it out of the park with this book. When I read it, I wasn't sure if going into it, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy it. I know that Ryan Ottley has had a huge run on the Image comic Invincible, and that book was definitely known for its, I guess you could say, brutality. And I didn't know how that was going to translate into a Marvel book, primarily Spider-Man. And Ottley did a great job. My gosh, I enjoyed every page. Can't say I can really complain about too much at all, in fact. And, oh my gosh, like, if I could compare it to anything, it kind of reminded me of a John Romita Jr. run. That's just my opinion, but he's got a very interesting style of art, and gosh, I thought it fit really well, even though, again, some of the characters kind of have a similarity to all their faces or characteristics. It still felt really, really cool and really involved, and I thought most pages were really action-packed and was great. So those are some quick thoughts on what I liked about it. As far as I didn't like, this book certainly had a lot of backstory in it. For a #1, there was a lot of backstory that kind of implied that readers should go back and check out old stories concerning Spider-Man and some of the things that are going on in this current story arc. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, especially for a new #1. I think fans are really hungry for a fresh start altogether for Spider-Man, and while some things definitely did merit a fresh start, I thought this was it kind of pointed again to me having to go back and read some old runs of Spider-Man to fully get the full context. But credit to Nick Spencer, I thought he did do a fairly good job of concisely bringing readers up to speed. Last two thoughts. I definitely want to say that the Parker luck is real in this book, y'all. The Parker luck is real. Peter goes through the ringer in every way you can think or conceive, and I just feel bad for the guy on so many fronts. But again, the good news is that all of that is overshadowed by the fact that Peter and MJ finally get back together. That is just the cherry on top of this book, and I'm super excited that happened. And again, just with all the stuff going on in the book and all the hardships that Peter endures, where some of it doesn't quite make sense. They don't get into enough context to fully explain what's going on or why someone's feeling a certain way. It still was all overshadowed by the simple fact that Peter and MJ are finally an item. So that is definitely the highlight of this book and why I think it's going to be so important. And again, last thought is that the cover. The cover is kind of misleading in the sense that you've got almost the entire, actually you do have the entire Sinister Six outside of a feminine version of Electro. I'm sorry, and also Dr. Octopus. He's not on the cover either, but you've almost got the entire Sinister Six on the cover of the book, but the Sinister Six is not actually in the book. So that was kind of odd, and even some of the regular characters who are on the cover are not actually in the book. So again, it's a little bit odd of a choice for a cover, but still super cool book, super cool cover, and I'm just totally into this series right now. If I can make a recommendation, I'd say that this book is safe enough for almost all ages. I'd say just young readers at the earliest, going into teens and adults. But this book is a great read, and I recommend it to anyone who's a Spider-Man fan. This is a great time for a Spider-Man fan to finally dive back in, and super excited to continue. So guys, thanks so much for joining me on this quick little SC3 One Shot, and I will catch you guys in the next one.